Hey guys, it's Melissa, and I thought tonight I would share with you a journal that I am working in lately that I am really loving because it combines my love of art journaling and my love of fountain pens. I've been sharing this over on my TikTok and my Instagram, but I thought it would be really fun to actually do like a page with you tonight. This is my traveler's notebook. I've actually been looking for this specific color. They're always sold out. When it came back in stock, I bought it. Did I need another journal? Absolutely not. But free will and adult money, so here we are. I love this journal so much. So then I had to justify it. And I was like, how am I going to use this journal? And so what I have done is I have turned this journal into sort of like an ink swatch art journal, so to speak. So I've combined my love of ripping paper and collage and turned it into this fun, beautiful mess that it is. And I'm really loving how it is turning out. And so as you can see, at first, the first page I did was, basically just like my current faves. And this was a couple months ago. And then I started working on like maybe colors for the month. And then the, colors, in coordination to like each category, like brown, pink, whatever. Ones that I was thinking about ordering, and then I started doing per brand. And so these are my noodlers, and then I started on my wearing goals. I have a couple of new inks coming, so I need to add those soon. And then looks like I skipped on purpose because I know I'm going to get more wearing goals. And then I started on my dominant industry inks, and you can see that the paper, and I'm basically swatching and then gluing, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing. And so those are my dominant industry. And so tonight I thought it would be really fun if we could maybe do a new brand. And so this would be the Jacques Urban. And I only have 7 of those. And so we should get through it. Hopefully we can just add them all together right here. So I thought I would share with you guys how I do this, the supplies that I use. And for the most part, a lot of these things are going to be linked in my Amazon. Well, these two at least are. And then some of the inks. I just have like a whole fountain pen section in there, art journaling section, whatever. But I thought we could do this together tonight. So let's get started. So for the title up top, I'm using these stamps. I think these are also linked in my Amazon. They're kind of a pain in my butt, but I do love them. Now his name is really long, and so I think we're going to put one here and then one, like the last name on the other side. And I'm just using a black, ink pad. And these are pretty new because my last set, I lost a couple of the letters. And I sat on it for a few months before I finally just decided to go ahead and order like a whole new set. And so all I'm doing is, and it doesn't have to look perfect. Like that's the whole point of this, is that it doesn't need to look perfect. And so all I'm doing is just adding, the stamp of the letters like up top right there. So we're just going to continue to do this until, and of course I'm having issues getting, like I said, some of these are new, so they're still stuck together. But we're just going to add his name up top. My luck, I would misspell it because that has literally been my luck lately, the way of the universe. And so let's do the first name here, and then we'll do the second name over here, and then we're going to start swatching. Okay, so I have this Hobonichi Cousin. It's just an extra one that I was messing around in. And I really love the Chamoy River paper. And so what I have been doing is I've been literally just taking these blank pages so I can reuse this journal or this planner in a way. And I've just been swatching here and then ripping and gluing into the journal. So we're going to start doing that right now, and we're just going to start with Violet. This is one of the newer ones that I just picked up this last week. This ink is so beautiful, and so always with the shimmers, you're going to want to shake, and his are filled with shimmer, and so I just got to shake it really, 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 really good until I don't see any more shimmer on the bottom. There we go. And we're going to swatch. And so the swatch that I'm using is actually the Speedball, and the attachment is the B-0. So if you get that set, this is the one that I'm currently using. Look how beautiful and rich this color is. And so we're just gonna do a little swatch. Now the light is obviously evening. And so during the day when that shimmer hits, these are unbelievable. I have a lot of water with me tonight and my favorite little ink rag so that I don't have to leave the room as much. And what I do is I set that to the side and then I keep going. And so we're just going to continue going. This is the fuchsia. I'm not really a pink person, but this color was beautiful. I originally bought this for somebody else, and then that person decided they did not like the large inks. They wanted something else, and so I kept it. And I have no regrets because this color is absolutely beautiful. You guys can see that going on. And the ink swatches just take really well on the Tomoe River paper. This is a beautiful ink. And the next one is the turquoise. This one is, look at the shimmer. It's just so good. So we're just going to continue swatching. This one I use a lot and I love it. How beautiful that is. It's just, they're so bright. These colors are just so beautiful. I just realized I'm missing a purple. It's somewhere on this desk. I knew it. I also have the amethyst because I'm a crazy person. I actually bought this one before I bought violet. And so they are very different. The shimmer on these is different. So we're going to swatch this one really quick too. A little bit darker. I just love how this journal is turning out. It's just been super fun to work in. So you can see how much like richer, a little bit darker this one is compared to that one. Another reason I justified this ink. And then the last one is going to be the emerald. So pretty. Love. These are the last of the shimmers that I have of his. These guys are just like these perfect little petite. I prefer a smaller bottle because honestly, I have been watercoloring with these and using these a lot in my daily journal just to like paint with and doodle with. And that is how I'm getting through all of my ink. I get asked quite a bit. And so here we go. Let's put this one down. Look how pretty this is. And once that shimmer pops, it's just so good. So those are the shimmers. So I'm going to let that dry. And then we're going to rip this page out. And actually, we'll just move it over. And we're going to start on these guys. And so these are the non-shimmers. I really prefer these little bottles. I think they're so beautiful. I don't have a lot of orange ink. And I knew as soon as I saw this one that I wanted to try the orange. And the size is just perfect. So I justified it. Oh, look, I got a little water there. That's fine. Look how pretty and bright these are. I feel like, look at that. It's just so beautiful. And there's not really any shimmer on these. And I just love how bright the colors are. And so these are the three that I have. The orange, the red, and then there's a brown. So this one's called Rouge. Love these. Let's try the brush this time. I do love using like a little brush. Look at that. Really pretty. And you can use anything. You can use a Q-tip. You can use a brush. You can use the speedball. And the beauty of this, what I'm doing, is that it doesn't have to be perfect. I like the messy look. If you guys have been following me for a while, you know that I love a messy journal. My handwriting is messy. I got asked to do a video all about that. And about just like the art of being messy. And so let me know if you guys want to see that. And this one is the brown. We'll look at that. This one's actually really, I like this color a lot. We're just going to keep it going across the page. Doesn't have to be too crazy because you're just going to rip it out anyway. But I like to get quite a bit of the color on there so you can see the swatch. And this one is called, well, we're not going to pronounce that because somebody will come at me. But there's that one. So here's all the Jacques Urban swatches. We're going to reuse them in a minute with this guy right here. And this is also linked in my Amazon. This is one of my preferred glass dip pens. I have 2 of these because I always break my glass dip. And my tip for you is to use a red Solo cup or a plastic cup, because if you use glass and you go and you do this and you wash it off and you hit this against the side of the glass, this is so delicate that it will break. I have probably broken 6 of these in the last 6 months without even realizing it. So then what I do is get my page ready. I use the Oohoo glue stick. We love Oohoo. I use it a lot in my collages and my art journaling. These are still kind of wet, so I'm going to be pretty careful, especially the one on the bottom here. I think I'm actually going to blot. I'm going to blot some of these really quickly, and that way when I rip, it doesn't drip. And again, messiness is the look that you're going for on these. Look at how beautiful. You can already start to see the shimmer. See the gold? And when these dry, look at that. It's already popping through that emerald. They're just so good. So we're going to rip these out really quick. Maybe. There we go. I am not looking for perfect paper here. I am looking for a mess. I'm just going to move this guy out of the way. Okay. So now what I do is I rip. And again, I'm not looking for perfection here. I'm looking to just get through without ripping the ink swatch in half. If it happens, like it almost just did right there, you can just glue it. That's the beauty of paper. And also, it's your journal, and you can just do what you want. If you want a ripped swatch, make it happen. If you don't, swatch directly in the book. I'm a crazy person. I like the way it looks. There's just something cathartic about doing it this way, and I just think it's so fun. And then we're just going to glue that right there, and we're going to keep going, and we're going to keep ripping. So I'm just going to keep on ripping and trying to be as careful as possible. You're going to get messy, by the way. See, I just kind of ripped into that one, but it's okay. I'm not worried about it. You're going to get ink on you. It's inevitable. You can use gloves, but like I said, I don't mind the mess. And then we have another one right here. And we're just going to keep going. These are still pretty wet, so I'm going to try to be kind of careful. It's a lot easier when the paper is dry. See how I made a little mess right there? Not too worried. Love the way it looks. I'm going to try to rip off a little bit more of this paper. There we go. Look at how it's already drying, and you can start seeing that shimmer. And look at the sheen too. Isn't that beautiful? See, we got a little mess. We're okay with it. We're used to it. If I don't have ink or glue on my hands on any given day, it wasn't a good day. All right, so here's that. I promised you guys I was going to put out some longer content. And so I'm really trying here. My busy work month is over. I'm headed into the next one, but I miss doing these. So we got a little mess here. It's all right. It's okay. Keep going. Let's keep ripping. These dried pretty quick. And again, you can just swatch directly into the book if you want. I just like the way this looks, and I don't know, it's fun. I have a Swatch journal that I use, but this one is just, I don't know, like I said, I like to mix my love of art journaling and fountain pens and ink and just have fun with this journal. I love the way it's looking. All right, let's just rip a little bit more off, because then we're going to add the names of these onto the journal. So I'm going to clean up. We're going to come back. We're going to glue, and we're going to finish this up. All right, let's start gluing. I'm got our Oohoo. We're gonna start with the violet, and we're just gonna, and I don't put glue on the whole thing. Oh my gosh, look at the mess that I'm making because of my hand. I do not put glue on the whole paper because I like when it is a little bit like curled up. I'm gonna rip this. I don't want that blue on there. So I'm gonna be able to move this over a little bit. I might need to go wash my hands. Otherwise, I'm gonna keep having this problem. Yep. Let me go wash my hands. All right, let's keep going. Now we're gonna do this pink. And I'm gonna always leave a little bit of room in between the two swatches so that we can write the name of the ink. And then finally we'll add the other purple, just like that. And then we're gonna do this side. I feel like I wanna rip off a little bit more over here. There's just so much paper. Yeah, that's better. By the way, it didn't come all the way off, but I didn't think it would. So we're just gonna, now we're gonna do this side. These shimmers, let me just show you in this bad lighting. You can still, look at the gold. Look at how beautiful. I love his inks so much. Okay, we're gonna just keep it going. This actually worked out so perfect. I got a little blue on that, but it's okay. I love the way it's looking. And I love that I got to do this with you guys tonight and finish one more. All right, let's cap this Oohoo. And now we're gonna get started on our names. So we gotta shake these back up a little bit. And what I love to do is just like, you know, keep it pretty cute and simple. And I add a little bit of doodling because I just love the way it looks and it's just so fun. So here we go. Let's take my glass dip, and this is the violet. And then what we're gonna do is we're just going to write now. I don't have the best handwriting, and I think that it kind of adds to the look that I'm going for. And I just want to remind you that you don't have to have beautiful handwriting to use a fountain pen. If you want to use a fountain pen, just use a fountain pen. So there is the violet, and I'm going to rinse off my glass dip, and we're going to move on to the fuchsia, and then continue on down all the swatches until this is done. Oh, this is still pretty mixed. That's nice. All right, let's do this one. Look at how rich and beautiful that is. It's so pretty. It's so funny because sometimes I misspell them because I'm not paying attention, like I almost just did tonight. So kind of messed that up, but I'm not too worried about it because again, it's my journal and there's really not anybody looking at it but me and you guys. And I kind of love the mess. So there's fuchsia, and I'm gonna rinse off my glass dip. This pen has still got some of the dip pen ink on it from last night's live on TikTok. Look at that, it's not cleaning all the way. I'll get it done. All right, we're gonna keep going. What is next? I think next is the turquoise. I have to shake this one up. All right. This ink is just so rich. I just really love the way that it writes on the paper, even with the glass dip. It's really, really beautiful. One of my favorites. I just wish the bottles were a little bit smaller. Okay, and then next up, we're going to have the amethyst. This one was a little bit darker than that violet. Just getting that shook up. We're going to do the same thing. Look at how beautiful. It's probably one of my favorite colors of all of his inks. Almost done. And then, of course, the emerald. Again, shake that up really well. One of my favorites. I think this was the first one I ever got of his. And I have apps. Look at how rich that is. It's just so beautiful. No regrets. I mean, look at that. So pretty. Just be really careful with your glass dip because it will break against that glass. We're going to take that rouge. We're going to do the same thing all the way down. I lucked out at this fit because let's hope I didn't just break that. There, it's just so finicky. And you'll know if you break your glass dip because the paper will rip. It's really apparent when you do. Okay, and then this one is called Orange Soleil. I just really love this color. It's really beautiful. All right, so just be super careful when you dip it in there. And you get that excess off. And the last one, this little brown. Before I misspell it, I almost did, see? Super glad I looked at that. No shame. This one's a little crooked, kinda, but you know what? It's all right because look how beautiful. Look at that. I just love the way that it looks. And flipping through here, just like going through this whole journal is just so fun. And I love the way that the paper sounds. And it's just fun to see my ink collection coming to life on paper. Hopefully you guys get inspired to try something similar. And if you haven't yet tried a fountain pen, hopefully you get inspired to try a fountain pen. You can be messy in a collage and do art journaling and junk journaling and still love a beautiful pen like I do. Just obsessed with them. And I love combining both of the worlds that I love into one journal. Let me know what other journaling content you guys want to see. I had a request for my fountain pen collection, so let me know if you guys want to see that video as well. And as always, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you guys so much, and I'll see you next time.